Hi, what if I did it? A show where I analyze and solve PR kerfuffles from my world, not beyond. Or I guess actually I need to change the gesture.
Inside,
And my
inside,
world, not
and
beyond.
inside. No,
The
inside.
Dolly.
No, because no, I like the dolly.
Yeah, right. You got to do the. I'm your host, Lexi Old, author of The Seventh Secret Sources Inspiration, a snappy guide for creative procrastinators. Join me as always at Kid Nate Bloody Elbow and the Let It Roll podcast. And Eugene S. Robinson from Aussie.com, and author of Fight Everything You Ever Wanted to Know About Asking, but afraid you'd get your ass kicked for asking.
Nice.
Collectively, thank you. Dramatic pause. Collectively, MMA Pancholis.
Pancholis!
So, Eugene,
Sir.
you're Conor McGregor.
Wait just a second.
Oh. Throw it! Throw that dolly.
Okay. All right, I'm ready, bro. Let's go.
Your rampage injured fighters caused property damage and resulted in your arrest live and in public, if you will. You're released on bail, but what PR moves do you need to take to bring your Burger King commercial back on TV?
Ah, man, that's a tough one. You know,
you're already hopelessly lost.
I mean, if I'm
it's the book of sugar, baby.
If I'm Conor McGregor, I mean, you know, all of that, you know, Mau shit that he had been doing. You're nothing without me. You're nothing without me. It doesn't work when you look when you know you're a Brooklyn D. Brooklyn House of Detention. It doesn't fucking work, man. It doesn't work. You know, you got to realize there are teams of people out there working for you and teams of people out there working against you. You know, for every person is trying to upsell you to some fucking body who's got an RFP out for, oh, what do we move a sports celebrity in? There's another agent with their own celebrity that's trying to do the same thing. If I'm Conor McGee, what kind of charm offensive do I go on now? At this point, I can't think of a single fucking thing I do except throw myself on the mercy of the court. So, you know.
Hence his emoji.
Yes, yeah, exactly right. But, you know, in the American life, we all know the two-step when you get busted for doing something. You got to check yourself into rehab and apologize. That's the only cynical. Yes, sincerity is everything. And once you got that fixed, you got it made. You got to do it. You can't be a drug that's going to scare advertisers away permanently. What could this young Irishman say that the rest of the advertising world would believe? I have a problem with alcohol.
Oh Lord!
So I checked myself in the fucking I checked myself in the rehab. I what is it? Rededicate myself to my wife and my children and being a good father, a good citizen of the community. And I'm willing to take whatever punishment you have because clearly I am out of control. You know, this reminds me of the great story of Barabbas, who I love. And for those of you who don't know your Bible, they were going to kill a bunch of people. And Pontius Pilate's wife was kind of pushing him to let Jesus go. And he wanted to let Jesus go. Jesus was just kind of a local crackpot. So he says, you know, why don't we let Barabbas go? Or why don't we let Jesus go? And the crowd was like, nah, take Jesus. He's like, you sure? I mean, let's let Jesus go. Because Barabbas was a murdering, raping, stealing piece of shit. And they go, no, let Barabbas go. So they let Barabbas go. And then, you know, the story is familiar to the rest of you. But my favorite part of the story is Barabbas, because Barabbas must have got off that cross a guy with a renewed sense of life. He's like, I can't believe it. Oh, my God, I can't believe it. I'm free. Now, where was I? Raping and killing and stealing, right back to business. I mean, Conor, if that's who I am, and I know who I am is who I am, that's what I do. I plead for mercy. I beg for forgiveness. I get off the cross, and then immediately I start going back to just what I did before after I get a few more commercials under my belt. But right now, there's nothing you can say and nothing that you can do. I don't care that you got the Baldwin back on your side. It won't matter to guys on fucking Fifth Avenue. It won't matter, man.
What do you think, Nate?
I think you guys missed the whole news cycle. Like,
oh, okay.
That you acknowledged it there at the very end with the whole Dana White turnaround on the whole thing. Did you see?
Which is the next question.
Yeah. I mean, so I think having talked to people outside the world of MMA, that very much there's a Gus Johnson mentality of these things happen in MMA, and wow, that smells like money. Let's make some. And they don't give a shit. And I think Conor will have to, deal with his legal issues. But the fact that he can come back to this country and generate hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue for all kinds of businesses means that those deals will be cut. McGregor will fight again. I don't think he has to do anything particularly beyond not throwing a dolly at the judge. And
oh boy,
if he can restrain himself to that extent, it's all back to McGregor. Did y'all catch the?
I'm sorry. Did you even listen to what I just said? Did you?
I did. I parsed it for you.
Okay. The story about Barabbas, did that resonate with you at all?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. I get Barabbas.
Because the people on Fifth Avenue, that's what they're concerned about. They're concerned about the Barabbas effect.
No, they're like, wasn't Barabbas the bad guy in Puss in Boots?
He was in fact. But I mean, can you take a chance on this guy? I don't want to get in my car halfway through this trip and have it break down on the road again. I cannot afford that.
Same people took chances on Mike Tyson time and time again.
After the ear biting thing,
Michael Tyson.
What commercials did he do after the ear biting thing?
Well, not commercials.
Okay. All right.
But I don't think. I think Conor burned that bridge down.
James Toback, the accused rapist, was the only one who would fucking touch him.
I mean, okay.
And then Spike Lee. A decade goes by, and then Spike Lee.
So you're saying with the commercial, you just said with the commercial done. The commercials are done, right? You just said the commercials are done. So
McGregor's done.
So in terms of the basic question with the commercials done, but that doesn't.
Forget about
there's
it.
more to life than just Burger King commercials.
Exactly. Did y'all catch his response when Dana told him you have to turn yourself in?
Yes, I love that one.
I thought you were going to reference that when you said nut, because he texted a picture of his cock to Dana. And
an erect penis.
They're not going to do nothing while I'm nutting. So I think with wit and charm and sophistication like that, you can win over any audience.
Yeah, but I'm laughing because the bald one got that text. Yeah. I wouldn't be laughing if Ari Emanuel got that text, and I wouldn't be laughing if I could just stop right there with Ari Emanuel. The keyhole to agents galore, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think Ari Emanuel probably doesn't even look at the phone that the UFC number fighters have. I don't think he's checking on UFC business very often. So.
Well, by all appearances, you seem to be exactly right.
Yes.
Even when he's sitting cage side.
Yeah, so it would just be his assistant checking that, and maybe that would be funny enough. She'd go, "Hey, Ari, this one you should see."
Yeah, man.
But I agree. I think that Burger King done, but there's more to life than just being in these commercials. There's life with the next subject. Nate, you're Dana White.
Oh yes, I am.
Last week, you called Conor McGregor's bus attack, quote, the most disgusting thing that has ever happened in the history of the company, end quote.
I have a hard time believing that, but whatever.
Yeah.
This quote, we talked, it's good. Is it? And why?
Money, money, money. Money talks, man. And I'm very curious to see the early pay-per-view estimates on this UFC they just had. Because maybe they were good and maybe they were not good. And the way Dana changed his tune from Friday to Monday makes me speculate irresponsibly and with no knowledge that they weren't that good. And so the whole do we need him or do we not need him question, something changed there. And I also think, I mean, judging by our web traffic with the Conor McGregor story, this shit was huge, man. I mean, as much as I was disgusted with his antics and think it is self-destructive and unsustainable, this is Trump's America, man. We don't have any moral bearing or sense. And I think corporate America just said, people are paying attention to this nonsense. Let's monetize it. So that's what I think. You know, I don't know. And it's impossible to give Dana advice anyway, because dude needs to be fired. That's, you know, Dana needs to go away. Like, I'll get it to in my heel turn, but dude has zero credibility. So there you go.
Man, what do you think, Eugene?
I'm Dana in this instance, and I think again the Barabbas effect is a real thing, but Dana is such an ineffective leader at this point that he doesn't see it, or he's so used to it that it doesn't make a difference to him.
Right.
You know, I mean, I got something for you. If Johnny Boney Joni sat at the desk next to you at work, would he be given a second chance? No, no, sorry, man. Sorry. If you have a problem with alcohol, maybe you can go into your corporate overlords and say, I got a problem with alcohol. I got to go into rehab. But you have to pre-announce it. You can't get busted for doing something fucking, there's a moral turpitude clause and a lot of the fucking bylaws of corporations. You get doing something fucking outre like that, you're gone, man. You're fucking gone. The company can't support it. You can't support the company. So, this is the only sport where you go, Johnny Buddy Jody's still in play. He's still in play because of money. But when the money is winnowed down, you have a fundamentally different relationship between me and Conor at this point. Me, if I'm the bald one. I mean, this is a guy who, of course, but I did it on the Show Stomper. This is a guy who now, what is that great the song by the Rolling Stones? You know, the change has come under my thumb. Don't think so? Really? Where's he going to go? What happened to your Burger King commercials and your movies and your Kentucky Derby stuff and the agents that biting up for the movie deal? Where'd that all go? I guess you don't have that, huh? Are you gonna fight in Bellator? Where are you gonna go? Where the fuck are you gonna go? So of course the bald one's singing a different tune. He's got a fool who's no longer asking for an ownership stake because you know what? Frankly, I can't give it to you. Sorry, man. There's no way I can honestly, I just can't. I can't convince Ari of this, man. Now he doesn't want to talk to you now. He really doesn't even want to talk to you now. So he's got no leverage about ownership stake. So that's out the window. He's got to make good on all these fighters who lost money because Dana said, I will give them show money, but I'm not giving them anything else beyond that.
Right.
And I guarantee you somebody in accounts payable is like, we shouldn't even really pay that. We should hit Conor up for that. Now, he doesn't really want to piss Conor off, but he doesn't want the fighters to start suing Conor. So there's going to be some horse trading, which Conor will pay, but he's in a prime position to be workable. However, workable like Dana likes him, like the bald one likes him, in this very he's not even doing a show like The Contenders. Dana White's The Contenders. He's done in that regard. So he's just a fighter now, fighter with $135 million, but still, he's somebody I can control, can make money off of. And if the court doesn't fucking smash him too badly, what the hell? He wasn't fighting in 2018 anyway. I got news for you. That wasn't going to happen.
Man. So,
the thing is, that old expression that my mother used to use about a fool and his money. There is anybody who knows anything about fucking the underworld, there's no way that guy stands up from his bingo card and goes 135 mil. That all the Sharpies in the room. Some guy once told me he was in some fucking not like Eastern Europe, and he was playing cards and was winning a bunch of money, and he was like going to the toilet, and every time he went to the toilet, he put some in his shoes, put some in his underwear, because he knew there's no way I'm getting to my fucking car. There's no way. I'm not making it back to the hotel. I'm not making it back to the car. So he uses bingo, 135 mil, and everybody in that room, red panty night. You had a bunch of fucking killers trying to kill you at that point, and they'll fleece that boy until he's got nothing if they can. Smart guys like Tupac stay at home. They don't go out hanging out with bad guys. Right?
Tupac.
Right. Tupac was not a smart guy. Left the house, got fucking shot. Smart guy, Jay-Z stayed at home, counted the money. It's very simple. This fool's out there throwing stuff at buses. 135 mil, man. If I was on that bus, I'd be blind.
Hysterical blindness.
Future life earnings. How much is that worth, buddy?
Yep.
So
I think he's put it perfectly in the Show Stomper. I'd love to drink out of this, but it's glass, and I have visions of shattering glass.
I'm traumatized, man. I can't. Since that incident, I can't get an erection. How much is that worth?
Oh, jeez.
You finally admitted, huh?
Hey, for that price, I'll admit a lot worse than that. You know.
So, Eugene, you're the UFC.
Yeah.
What lessons have you learned in wake of your traumatic UFC 223 PR and matchmaking machinations last weekend?
Not a single fucking one. Thanks for asking. I mean, Kid Nate said it best. What the fuck, man? When everybody's sitting there on their hands waiting for those numbers, I predict those numbers are going to be impressive. You know, I mean, keep in mind on the Care Don't Care preview that we did before, I had one fight I didn't care about. In the end, after watching it, I did care about it. And Nate had, I think, what, you only had two that you didn't care about? Yeah, something like that. So, I mean, we were already sort of geeked for this card. So they're coming into their own vis-a-vis a formula, waiting 2 weeks for the basketball March Madness to play itself out. That kind of whet the appetite a little bit. It allowed storylines to develop, allowed you to kind of tie in the drama before. I mean, the drag is they'll probably start playing this for fucking WWE type drama, you know, or like also known as the James Brown Cape routine drama, right? like, oh, we got this big fight. We're gonna get Jesus Christ fighting Johnny Boney Joni. Oh, Jesus Christ pulled a hamstring. Who are we gonna get now? Barabbas. We'll get Barabbas in there to fight. And so all of a sudden, you know, they're creating subplots around the main plot in order to drive business. I'm hoping that's not what they're doing. I mean, I want it to be a sport. Like this famous MMA woman that I interviewed, the piece is coming up in Aussie, which I don't want to cheat by telling you who it is. But she said, we're going through growing pains right now. And what's happening is this is becoming a sport. You know, people don't get you basketball, baseball, so many fucking games. Any single one, do you get bent out of shape if weird shit happens? No, it becomes a kind of ocean-like continuum.
What about you, Nate?
Can you repeat the question? Because somebody just talked in circles and babbled off topics. I want to.
All you got to know is give me money. That's all you got to know.
Yeah. Give me money.
You're the UFC. What lessons have you learned?
That's what I thought. They're not capable of learning. That's the thing. So, nothing. They're right back to booking Conor McGregor. Dana White's out there making factual statements that can be disproved, like right and left. So,
what do you mean, like Trump?
Kind of like Trump.
Yeah,
kind of like Trump. Yeah. It's very presidential, but at some point, if shit can't continue, it won't. At some point, eventually, Coyote walks off the cliff and falls. Like right now, we're hanging in the air after we walked off the cliff, and we're waiting to fall. But we are gonna fall. The UFC is. Who are they gonna fall? I mean, yeah, no indication that anyone in that organization is putting in the effort. Either has the capability to learn from mistakes or is paying enough attention to notice when they make a mistake. I really think WME is just phoning it in completely.
Yeah. They're like it's like their bull riding ownership, right? It's like, here's some shit that we purchased, I guess.
Yeah. So
it's like that great Dave Chappelle skit when the guy's trying to pitch him a TV show, and he's like got the little thought bubble where he's doing the hip hop with the goat legs. It's the same thing. You go into Ari Emanuel's office, you're like, MMA. He's like, huh? UFC. Who is this person I'm talking to? I'm Dana White. Oh yeah, the cardio kickboxing guy. Yeah. Why is he here again?
I loved you on Different Strokes. I think it would have. What I think they really missed out on was imagine if they really did the Rocky angle with Al Iaquinta earlier on, where it's like local guy. That was the whole Rocky movie, right? Like
that's what
Rocky's. Yeah. Apollo Creed's original opponent gets injured. They're gonna go. They don't want to lose the box office. Let's get some local schmo and some schmuck. It'll get the local yokels all excited. Just imagine how that buildup would have been if you let Raging Al rage on. For a little longer than a couple of days and try some kind of local yokelism. I think it would have been
I think he did great, man. I called it for him. Didn't mind having him lose, but number 11 not fighting for a year and a half, and then my favorite meme is that the guy took from is it when you have a bear on your back, but you see a good refi or some real estate thing, and I could just clearly looking at the jumbotron to see what's happening, but it's like you spot a hot prospect. I was like, yeah, man, it's funny, but not funny because dude became a realtor because he can't live on a fighter's salary. So, yeah. I mean, let's roll that back a bit. Let's Zapruder that. He became a fucking realtor because he couldn't make it on a fighter's salary. I mean, it's not like realtors are rolling deep unless you're really super good. That's like saying I become a professional blackjack player because I couldn't make. I mean, it's just that's how bad it is to be a UFC fighter. You would take something speculative like fucking real estate.
Yeah. Which you don't even have to quit your UFC training job to do, right? Just like
right.
Hey, you have to get a
psychic,
There's quite a bit of training, classwork, and tests to become a realtor. Let's have some respect for the profession.
I do, but he doesn't have to, So, speaking of respect,
I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's not an easy job. I'm saying it's a very tough job, but it's not a reliable fucking paycheck.
No.
Right? No, it's true. Neither is UFC work. So, Nate, who is the subject of your heel turn this week?
It's a two-part heel turn. First, the setup, which I'm outraged about. Like, I assume y'all heard the news that somebody was putting out. I don't even know that they were connected to Mayweather's camp, but saying that, yeah, he's going to fight in the octagon, except there won't be any takedowns, there won't be any kicks, there won't be any knees, there won't be any elbows. So, of course, I'm a Mark, all-day sucker. I'm furious. This is bullshit. How can I do this? And then...
Where's my checkbook? My credit card.
Yes, I mean, because I'll be buying it anyway. But then Dana White comes out and denies that there's any truth to this. And at first, I mean, another part of my brain was like, yeah, this is just bullshit coming out of Mayweather camp because he's haggling. And now that Dana has denied it, like, I'm in a complete spot where I'm like, shit, it's really going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's just a sad, sad place to be. That's when I realized Dana is done. He's on Beyond Lost. Eugene, what's the worst category? Is on Beyond Lost Battalion? Is he dark starred?
He's pretty well. Dark starred is when somebody mentions a name and you kind of go, "Oh yeah." We don't have a category for what he is. We could come up.
He's dark starred, but he won't go away.
Yeah. So in other words, if I say Dana, I don't have to finish his name. I say the Baldwin, everybody knows. So he's still present, but he's not in the game at all, right? I mean, the worst category typically has been Event Horizon, but clearly Ari is not flexing any muscle in that $4.2 billion company. So it's like, is he Event Horizon? Don't know. It seems like he's still got a desk in an office and
right.
He's business cards.
Yeah.
Yep. Somebody just texted and they said they made a claim that the one clean UFC fighter, the D-Man. I know people don't like to hear from him, but fuck that. The D-Man says the one clean UFC fighter was GSP. How many ads did he get with companies that weren't existing UFC sponsors? That's different, man. He couldn't speak English. Anyway, though Kobe got his commercials back once he changed his number. I don't recall seeing very many Kobe commercials after the whole Denver rape hotel room thing.
No, he became more of he was kind of like what's suggested for Conor McGregor. Like, he straight up like basketball hardcores guy, so people that were still watching basketball and it's like Kobe. But everyone outside of basketball, like, just didn't really care to think about that much.
Well, I like the fact that Me Too has kind of dredged this up again with Kobe, because at the time it was like, okay, we tested her underwear. She had 3 separate different types of semen in underwear. Apparently, she went from his hotel room and had sex with at least 2 other men. So how traumatized could she be? And now in the Me Too age, I'm glad that everybody's getting around to that doesn't fucking matter. Fuck you with all that. I could have been going to a fucking menage. I could have been going to a threesome. I could have been going to gangbang. I could have not wanted to ruin the party. I could have gone anywhere. It doesn't mean I wanted to have sex with that man in that hotel room.
Yeah. Check out the letter that he wrote. The letter was pretty good, though.
The letter Kobe wrote?
Yeah, that Kobe wrote. If you read it, like, and you realize how long ago this thing happened, you would think that that'd be the template for acknowledgement, not acknowledgement, apology letters, and just when you see just the horrid jobs people have done with the statements they're making, like they should just whip that fucking letter out. Yeah, like it's just amazing. Like you look at it now, it's like, what the fuck? Again, not to say that, all is forgiven, but it's, anyway.
You know what a pretty good insurance policy is for all you aspiring male athletes or quasi celebrities? No, right here, your phone. Set it up on the nightstand, put video, you press the video. She goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "It's called insurance." She goes, I'm not consenting to being filmed. Go, great, get your stuff. So long. I got $135 million in the bank. I got to protect myself, and I got to protect you. It's for both of our safeties.
Look, I'm governor. I'm going to need to tie you up and take a few pictures. It's called trust but verify.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Eugene, who's in your Lost Battalion?
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. I'm going to have to create a whole show just for the Lost Battalion. And somebody came up with a great idea. Do we know who's in the Lost Battalion? Can we get a ranking? Can we get what is that thing they call roll call? Can we get a roll call? I was like, I don't have the time for that. Why don't you guys do it? Put it together. So right now, as a result of this fight, I'm gonna give you one that in a hubbub, in the brouhaha, most people have avoided. And I gotta tell you, Artem Lobov, forget it. Forget it, bro. You should have thought twice about making that call. This is the thing. This is what I tried to avoid with my kids. I tried to create a sensation in my kids that they could tell me everything, even though they were exposed to knowing that I was a violent lunatic, right? So if somebody was going to be bad to my kids, I'd want them to come back and say, "Dad, the piano teacher," but I didn't want to. The reality of it is my kids were smart enough to know that if they told me about something like that, they could expect the most aggressive kind of sanction ever. So I didn't want to put them in a position where they were protecting offenders because they knew I would overreact. So my whole life, I tried to be the guy. I'm not going to overreact. I'm under, of course, they didn't buy any of that. My kids, I told them this the other night, and they were like, "We don't buy that. You're nuts." I go, "Great. That's coming from my kids. That's great." So the reality of it is, if you're Artem Lobov, you do not call McNuggets. You do not fucking call him because you know what he's going to do. They're friends of yours. We had an award show. Oxbow was up for an award, the Bammies. It's like the local music thing. It was at a big club, like a Bill Graham club, and we were nominated for Best Heavy Metal Band. We're up against Sleep and some other band I can't remember. And the guys in Sleep are friends of mine, right? So then the winner is, they named the nominees. Sleep. I made the mistake of inviting a bunch of fighters to sit. The rest of my band didn't even want to go. They got, fuck that, it's rigged. We're not going to win. So I'm sitting there with a bunch of fighters, and they hear it, Sleep. They start throwing stuff off the table. They upend the table. This is an outrage. You guys suck. I go, those are friends of mine. And then they storm out. And I'm sitting there, and they go, "Come on." I go, "What are you talking about?" They go, "It's called making an exit." I go, "No, man, this is my community. I got to live with these people." So I put the table back, and I put the little place things there. I never invite them anywhere else again. You can't call Conor. So Artem, victim, because he's not fighting again. It's not like we cared about him in the first place, and we really don't care about him now. And now we know he's such a thin-skinned fucking baby. Fuck that. He's gone. Lost Battalion. Except I think if he had greater facility with the English language, he probably would acknowledge that he knows he's fucked up. But I don't know that, so I'm going to have to assume that he's unaware, as always, that his career is done. And Conor's public career, his non-fight career, is done, meaning he's in the Lost Battalion, because I'm sure he still thinks they're going to be lining up giving him Pepsi commercials and Mountain Dew. Maybe I could use some of those bad boy brands. Like what? Oh, those like Jim Beam and Harley Davidson. Yeah, guess again. Guess again, man. Coming out of Brooklyn House of D, or like the 78th precinct, bad look. There's our spokesman. Nobody's paying for that. The list goes on.
Damn. But our show does not. Thank you for joining us. Follow us on Twitter at Eugene S. Robinson, Alexi Old, at Kid Nate, Facebook at MH Pancholes. Please give us a thumbs up, Eugene.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Oh,
all right.
okay. Leave comments on YouTube. Subscribe to MMANation.com on YouTube. MMA Nation on iTunes. Visit Bloody Elbow. Buy 7 Secret Source Inspiration. Box Post and Black Duke, where the fine music is sold. Listen to Let It Roll Podcast.
Buy like crazy until May 4th.
That's right. Listen to Let It Roll Podcast. Immediately following the show, Eugene, what do they need to do?
Right below this picture, there's a link. I think Nate put the link in, and you click on it, and after we log out and log back in, it'll be about 60 seconds, and you can pick up the show. Same type of show, but about non-MMA related events in the world around you if you're tied into that at all. And that's where we'll be.
And if you're not, then you'll get the introduction. Thank you for joining us. If I did it. We'll be back next week with another installment. We don't know what we're going to be discussing because the pure mistakes have yet to be made.